narrative is something I've always used. I think it might be a holdover from my documentary background. I always hear an internal voice of a character somehow telling a story, and I've done a lot of stories with narration. The Other Side of the Mountain was my first film, and I almost didn't do it because Jill Kinmont, I don't know if you know her, she was an Olympic skier who broke her back and wound up a quadriplegic. A person who everybody thought was immensely heroic, and I found her just completely shut down as a human being. She was heroic, but she was defended against feeling anything. And I found her, as I told her, extremely boring. After 3 meetings with her, I said, I find nothing interesting in this story. Your courage turns me off because I don't feel your humanity. There is no story in here to tell. You know, I know that people are richer, darker, more confused than you are, particularly someone. I said, and she was very, very disappointed because she needed, actually, she's an extraordinarily wonderful person. She was teaching and looking forward to this film because she needed the money. And I said, well, why don't you just, you know, start jotting some things down and sending them to me. And she sent me a letter that changed everything. It began with, I wake up every morning forgetting that I'm paralyzed. So that was the beginning of that story. And that's how it opened, some words to that effect. Because she has to readjust every single morning when she goes to throw off the covers. She can't move her arms. And then she goes, and then it all just floods back. It's only a moment. Oh yeah, I'm paralyzed. I forgot. And that was the beginning. And so I decided to narrate that story. You know, tell it, open it, tell it in the first person. To me, the first person is so potent and so powerful and can do those things that dialogue can't do. You really have to play games with dialogue to make it real. People just don't come out and state their subtext. They're usually talking about what's for dinner instead of saying, I'm afraid you don't love me anymore. When you use narration, you can say, I'm afraid you don't love me anymore. And it cuts right to the heart of what's going on. I've used the letter writing technique more than once because it's a way of just getting down into somebody's skin.